Today I'm going to be doing an online model lesson for Hand in Hand, which is one of our eFutures course books. So I'm going to be doing something a little different than our usual webinars, and I hope to have your guys' cooperation, all right? So what I mean by that is, since I'm doing a model lesson, I want to be able to create as close as possible to a real classroom environment, something that we actually do in the class. And something new that I'm going to try to do is, some of you have already been using the function. There is a raise hand function. So for the first time in eFuture webinars, we're going to try to get you guys to participate, okay? So if you're comfortable speaking, if you want to speak, if no one speaks, that's okay. We can just go through the chat like normal, but I'm going to try to get some of you to maybe answer my questions and participate through speaking. So hopefully there's not too much background noise if I allow you guys and who I pick. But if you see the raise hand button, I'm going to kind of pick through people that would feel comfortable speaking. If there isn't any, then we can just continue on like a normal webinar. But why I'm trying to do this is to try to make this webinar, make this model lesson as close as possible as I can to an online class, all right? So hopefully everyone is okay, all right? So is the audio okay? Is there any background noise? I kind of have a AC going on in the background, so I just want to make sure that I'm not being drowned out. Everything's okay, Misu? Everything's perfect? All right. So, yeah, I'm hoping that we can get some volunteers. So if you guys are shy, I understand, okay? So we're going to start with a warm-up. Again, for those, just going back really quick, for those that just joined, if you guys can set your chat settings again to all panelists and attendees, that would be wonderful. Okay. Now, since we're starting, I'm going to come back to the office, and I'm no longer at the beach. Okay, so let's get started here. So I'm going to start with a warm-up, okay? I'm going to start with a warm-up here. So we're going to do a warm-up Mad Lib. Have you guys heard of Mad Libs before? A recording will be available, Susie. So Mad Libs are it's kind of taking a story, but then you take out some of the words and you replace them, okay? You replace the words. So I have kind of hidden what the subject of my Mad Lib is. Yeah, as a kid, yeah, me as well. So as a Mad Lib, you kind of take a story and then you take out some of these words. So you see our list here. So we have noun, we have name, adjective, verb ending in ed. So I'm going to ask you guys to give me some of these things. And then I'm going to type them in and then kind of generate a kind of story, all right? And you can kind of have your students do this. You can make worksheets for the students to create it. It's just kind of for fun. Okay? So it's not really a test or anything, okay? So let's see here. So first we'll do a few with the chat, okay? So the first couple ones, and then we'll go through and test out and see if any of you want to volunteer to give me an answer, okay? So by raising your hand. So first we have a noun. So can you guys give me a noun? So I'm going to pick an answer from the chat this time. So I'm going to see a few of the answers, see what people are doing. And let's see. So we have a lot of dogs, girl, carrot, people, coffee, teacher. Let's see, let's go for one. Hot dog. Banana, Karen. Pimple. Oh my goodness. Yes, so we can be creative here. Hi from Peru. Okay. Let's see. Monkey, music, cat, and mountain, education. our teacher. Tennis. Ooh, I like tennis. Coming out. Lake. Let's see. Teacher. So let's go with monkey. See, Veronica. Monkey. I'm going to type in monkey on. So it's not going to update on the screen. That's just a screen cap, but I am typing in your answers on my other screen here. Okay, so we're done with nouns. So let's go with a name. Let's go with the name. Taro. Then Omar. Let's see what your guys' favorite names are. Gary, I'm not going to put my name in. Judith. Get some Lola. So Cindy. Everyone's throwing their own names in there. Ruth. Ariana, Julie, Sam. Let's see. Handsome. Let's do Simon. We'll go with Simon here. Okay. And now, can I get any volunteers? Okay, so use that raise hand function here for an adjective. So I'm just going to try this out. So this is the first time trying this out. So get anyone that wants to raise their hands to give me an adjective. Okay. So I think Romy. So I'm going to try to give you permission here. So this is the first time trying this. So hopefully I can hear you. So you just have to allow your mic. So you have to connect if possible. Okay, can you test out? Can I hear you? So bear with me. This is our first time trying this, so I wanted to see if it's possible. Romy, type in the chat if you can't, if it's not working. Right now, I can't hear you. Okay, so I'm going to try one more person. Sorry, Romy, can't spend too much time. Okay. Oh. Oops. Okay, let's try. Okay, so it looks like it might not be working. Let's try just one more person. And if it doesn't work, going to just kind of keep it with the chat. So let's go with Ariana. So I'll try you, Ariana.
Can you hear me there?
Yes, I can hear you. We got one. So can you give me an adjective?
Delightful.
Delightful. Oh, very good. Okay, very good. So just with time, Ariana, can you give me one more for the next one? A verb ending in ed.
Worked.
Huh? Worked. Worked. Okay. Put that in. All right. So thank you very much. Going to meet you again. Okay. And then I have to. Okay. So now back to the chat. Okay. Let's go with another adjective. Let's go with another adjective. Amazing. We'll go with the first one I see here. Amazing. Okay. Next one. A noun. Ladybug. Okay. Ladybug. Okay. Let's deal with the ladybug. And then next one is another adjective. Awesome. Oh, we have amazing. Let's choose a different one. Generous. Generous. And for the exclamation, I'm going to pick one. Exclamation. I'm just going to do, oh my God. Oh my God is a good one. I saw that in chat. OMG. Oh my God. Okay. I like that one. Okay, and then we have a verb, another verb ending. ED, so another past tense verb. Rested. Okay. Let's keep on. Let's see what else we have. Rested, told, played, walked, danced. Let's go with danced. Okay. Then we have a place. So a place, home, beach, Spain. Let's go with Spain. I like Spain. I've been to Spain once. Okay, and then adjective. Jungle. Jungle's a big. Let's go with the lucky. Big, lucky, crazy, ugly, huge, wild. Let's go with wild. And then a verb ending in ing. So enjoying, snoring, kicking, singing, playing, lying, smiling, helping. Let's go with helping. Let me say more. Jumping. Let's just do jumping. And then a piece of furniture I'm picking. I'm going to choose a beanbag chair for my furniture. And then let's get a volunteer for a television program. Television program. So you can get some volunteers in the chat for some television program. So I'm coming with Brenda. Brenda. So please test your mic to see if it's good to go. So I'm giving you permission now. Hope you put your hand down. Do you not want to do? Okay, Brenda? No? Okay. Speak. So let's go with Guadalupe. You can see, people are shy. Remember the raise hand function I'm actually using as if in class. Okay. So if you're just waving at me, I wave back. So if you have a microphone set up. Okay, so I'm gonna have to be a quick on time here. So go down here, let's go with Miles. Miles Kazawa? Kaizawa? Am I saying that right?
Hi.
Hello.
Yes. How about Breaking Bad?
Breaking Bad, okay, thank you. And for the last one, can you give me one more noun?
Shoe.
Shoe, okay. Thank you very much, Miles.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so that is the end of our Mad Lab, or Mad Lib. So how can we show you what we've been doing? Thank you for bearing with me with this new thing here. So I'll show you what we're doing here. So we put our Mad Lab in. So we put all of our words here, and then going to make a story, okay? Make a story. So here, the story was someone special. So here's the story that we've created together. I recently fell in and out of love with a monkey. His name is Simon. I have a delightful feeling about him. When we met, we just worked. But then he said I was the most amazing person he knew, that he would like me to be his ladybug. It was a generous decision to make, but in the end, I said, oh my God. After that, I left him and danced all the way to Spain. I feel a little wild about what I did, but I'd rather be jumping on the beanbag chair and watching Breaking Bad. Who needs a shoe anyway? Okay. So here's kind of actually pretty wonderful love story between whoops, hold on, let me make sure if you can see it. Yeah, so here's the story that's created, and you can have the students do this and kind of print it out. So there's different websites that you can kind of do this with. So here's kind of one variation of it. Okay? So it's a beautiful story that we made, everyone. We should all pitch it to one of the major studios and make a movie out of it. All right. Okay, so let's continue and get started. So it took a little bit more time than I wanted, but hopefully you guys had fun with that, and maybe you even just use it in your class as well. All right, so our agenda. So our agenda today, so I'm going to briefly introduce Hand in Hand, not go too in depth, but the reason why I feel like we should introduce it is to see what we have available to us as a teacher. Okay, so knowing what components, what resources we have, and just being acquainted with our book. So whether it's Hand in Hand or whatever your school is using, be sure to kind of look into what extra resources your book has, okay? And then we'll get started with our online lesson and kind of go through different activities. And then, this is not really a big one, but showing the resources that I'm using in the lesson, as well as kind of link you and kind of let you guys know of my previous webinars or extra resources that I've kind of presented over the course of this pandemic that you can use in your lesson. So I'm just going to show, I picked a few of the resources that I've presented before, and now trying to show it in context of a lesson, when and how I would use it, okay? And then we'll wrap it up, all right? So kind of briefly going over Hand in Hand, the main goal of our series of this book is to prepare the students to be a 21st century learner, all right? And how we do this? Through global awareness, as well as two things that my colleague Aaron has kind of been going over the past few weeks, one being CLIL and the other being 21st century skills. Sorry, I have a bit of an itch on my nose, so I hope you don't care too much. So here, global awareness. So what we're doing with global awareness is just getting the students to think outside their own culture, all right? So getting them to think about other countries' people, and just kind of open their minds a bit to what's happening in the outside world. And then at the same time, comparing their culture with their own, or comparing that culture with their own, and becoming aware of kind of things that are very specific to their own culture. And how we do this in the book, so we have a kind of subject of the world around us. So we take things from other cultures, but then make sure that it is in context of the unit. Okay? So some examples here on the screen. If the students are learning colors, then we kind of throw in, looking just simply at a country's flag. What colors do the flag represent? Or what colors are on the flag? And then we have the classroom, okay? So comparing how a classroom is in another country with their classroom, okay? Even just the setting. So looking at this image here in Bangladesh, they have some classes are on a boat, okay? So just kind of opening up the students' minds to, oh wow, like what's happening in my culture isn't just happening or like isn't normal in some other cultures, okay? So we're doing colors and flags in the classroom, other things looking at numbers, and then hobbies as well. So looking at what students do in other countries, all right? Then CLIL, again, Aaron has done a recent webinar regarding CLIL. It's just content learning. Okay? So how can we include different content in the English class, all right? So achievable, all students. So we include all these subjects. So all of these subjects that we try to include in content, all right? So on how we're doing this, so there's a school link in the book. So here, introducing some English math, okay? So learning some vocabulary like plus and minus, and then going into social studies as well. So these are just a few examples. So with the social studies, looking at their cultural clothes that they wear. So this could be at the same time global awareness and CLIL at the same time. Okay. And then going into 21st century skills, kind of a review of our previous webinar. So do you remember what the 4 C's of the 21st century skills are? So don't get confused with the 4 C's of CLIL. Do you guys remember? What did we have for the 4 C's? So go ahead and write in chat for the time being. Creativity, good. Communication, great. We got 2 of the 4. Critical thinking, and 1 more. Collaboration, good. Those are the 4. Communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity. All right. So how can we do this? We can do this through various activities. We also have some worksheets that kind of work with this as well, in hand. So project presentation works with that, preparing group activities, even some games, making a list, or kind of the critical thinking of finding differences and similarities in a picture. All right. So those are some things for 21st century skills. And then kind of the final wrap up here of the summary of our components and resources. All right. So in the student book, there's a project book and a hybrid CD. So being sure, the project book can be used. There's some ways that we can use it in an online setting as well. There are some resources that you can find where students can upload images of what they've done. For one off the top is Google Classroom. They can turn in assignments that way. There's the workbook that students can use. So I'm just looking at the chat. Okay, flashcards, good. Using the workbook, and then remembering what we have available in the teacher's manual. So from my experience, my very first year teaching in Korea, I didn't know that I had a teacher's manual available. It's kind of embarrassing, right? So there is a lot of resources that I was creating on my own that could have been made easier by just looking at my teacher's manual. Okay? So things that for hand in hand, we have prep tests, of course, flashcards, like Brendan, you love your flashcards. We have flashcards. Extra games and activities, lesson plans, worksheets, tests, grading rubrics, and then most importantly, 4 online lessons, an ebook, okay? And then talking about our flashcards, it's downloadable for teachers and students, okay? So I kind of went through this very quickly because I want to get into the meat of our webinar, which is going to be the model walkthrough, okay? So just preparing your lesson as a teacher, just be aware of what you have available and what you can use for your lesson, okay? So in addition to those, remember there's going to be some possible digital contents and online support. Online support like what we're doing now as well, that you can use resources for your class, okay? Okay, so let's get through this model lesson walkthrough, okay? So this is kind of the important stuff. How do we do this? And just, this is mostly going to be kind of example of how I would kind of go about my model, my online class, as well as I'm going to be giving some commentary at the same time, okay? So I'm not gonna treat this completely as a lesson and just be the teacher and my students, but I will give you comments on certain parts of the lesson that I could alter or I can do differently, just to give you more ideas on what you can do in your class, okay? Before I get started, do you need me to slow down? I know I did go kind of quickly through the introduction, but now I just want to kind of check my, my speaking speed for you guys, because that's kind of my thing. I need to make sure I'm pronunciating and enunciating for you guys. Make sure you can understand. For some of you, I know English isn't the first language, so I want to make sure that you guys can understand clearly. Again, answering later. The recordings will be available, so if I am speaking too quickly, if you find our YouTube, you can kind of go through and do it that way. Okay? So first, before we get into it, the most important part of a lesson is how we prepare for it, okay? So how do we prepare? So I've talked about this in a previous webinar, so let's kind of go over a lesson plan. What stages should we plan and what parts of a lesson plan there are, okay? So kind of quizzing you guys, see if you've been in my webinars before. What is the first step of a lesson plan? What is the first part? What do we plan? So we have 8 parts here. Which one goes first? The warm-up. Wonderful. The warm-up and review goes first. So warm-up and review. Number 2, what's next? This one might get a bit tricky for some people. So number 1, warm-up and review is correct. What do we do next? Mercy, beautiful. Background knowledge is number 2. Next, number 3. Everyone's great with the background knowledge. Number 3, provide input. Manuel, everyone, input. Very good. So we go through the warm-up, review, background knowledge, provide input, okay? Number 4, after input, check comprehension, good. So we provide the input, now we check, do the students understand? Good. Next one, after checking comprehension, so we see a game, we see review, we see reflect. So we have a lot of different ones. Output, reflect. See, I'm seeing a lot of reflects. I'm seeing some outputs. So here, so we're checking comprehension. So now we know the students understand what they were provided. Now it's time for them to use it. Okay, so this is where the output time comes in. So this is where they're doing the practicing, or they're doing some assignments. Okay, so we provided something new, check if they understood it, and then they practice it. Okay, and then after practicing, we get into the feedback. Okay, so we give the students feedback. This is kind of where, you know, what do they need to fix? What are some things they need to look at? And what things they need to remember? And then after here, then we get the review game. So just a quick note, if you do the review and game too quickly in the lesson, depending on what the context of the game is, if the students say you did it before the comprehension check, maybe they still don't understand some of the input, so they can't really enjoy the game yet. So if they can practice it and understand it, and then you get into the game, that's where it usually should go. So that way the students don't have to worry about understanding or not knowing the answers, okay? And then the last part here is the reflect on class, okay? And this is in blue because it's more so something you do alone as a teacher, okay? Something you need to reflect on and look at your lesson, all right? So some other things. Now, specifically for online classes, make sure that you have, if possible, access to an ebook. That way, you know, with Zoom, you can screen share, you can show the book and present it to the students, and then using the annotate function to highlight where you want the students to look at, all right? So these two kind of go together and very kind of important for your class, all right? And kind of what we're practicing today, muting and unmuting students for volunteers. So like we're using the raised hand. Sometimes, you know, you can't really control what's happening in the background for your students, whether they're at home or wherever they are. So being able to just mute them and like allow them to volunteer when it's okay. And then kind of what we did earlier with the introduction to the resource or to the series, just realizing what resources you have available for your class, okay? So again, if you're using Zoom, make sure you know what functions you have available. So again, I highlighted the annotate function, as well as breakout rooms. So if you wanted to do group work, group activities, you can preset your students into groups, and you can do breakout sessions or breakout rooms for the students to work together as opposed to having them all together in the full. And then you can kind of go into each of the breakout rooms and see what they're doing. Okay? All right. So what I'm going to be doing my lesson on today, so I'll be having Hand in Hand 3, Unit 2. Oh, yep, go back. Is it this one here, Jessica? Or did you want to go back to which one here? One more? This one here? Or did you want these slides will be available as well. So in addition to getting in the recording, we can send you the presentation as well. So that is an option, okay? So here's that, so no problem. Okay, so what online resources do we have? How can we do this? So what I'm going to do first is access my ebook, okay? So we're looking at here, so eFuture, we have our own platform here, eSmart Class. Okay, so I'm going to go into my account here. Oops, first enter too quickly. Yes, I'll give you the contact info for our partners and they can send it to you as well. Okay, so we'll go in here and we'll look at the ebooks. So these are all my classes here and all the ebooks that are available. So we have Hand in Hand 3. Okay, so a new pop-up comes up. So when you are doing this, say you're accessing through eSmart Class, when you get your ebook, right now you guys cannot see the ebook. So you need to make sure that you share the new window, okay? So here, go to our lesson. So obviously you kind of prepare this ahead of time, but just kind of showing you the walkthrough a bit of what I would be doing. So here's our unit, so unit 2. So this is the first period. So the students have already started the unit. So they're practicing all these vocabulary words. And then we're going into, yes, you can, Susie. You just go into, your Zoom settings and you can preset your breakout rooms in the settings, okay? So let's look at our lesson here, okay? So we have it open in our ebook. Now let's go back to presentation. So now we'll start with our warm-up and review. Okay, so let's do our warm-up. So from our previous lesson, so I'm pretending that, obviously the students had a previous period, and now we're going through reviewing some of the words and the sentences that we used in the previous lesson. So here, we have the word lesson here. So what kind of lesson is this? So you can go ahead and write in the chat for this one. What kind of lesson is this? What is the student doing? Music, good. Piano, music lesson. A lot of music and piano. So this is a piano lesson, and that you can have the students listen and repeat. Piano lesson, okay? And then how about anyone in chat? Who's had piano lessons before? I'll raise my hand. I've had piano lessons when I was in 6th and 7th grade. So we have a few in the chat, a few raise their hands I see as well, piano lessons. And then you can also kind of go further, okay? So what other kinds of lessons are there? So we have piano lesson. What other lessons have you done before? Ballet lessons, okay? Swimming lessons, good. Art and design, wonderful. Tap, really good. Kendo, dance lessons, arts and crafts. See, so this is a way, again, this is kind of that background knowledge. So you can kind of integrate both the warm-up and background knowledge as well and see what the students know, okay? And then we go move on, the next one here. What is this? Kind of a simple word. House, very good, house. All right, and then we can practice our sentences. Okay. So now, using the raise hand function. Using the raise hand function, can I get someone to fill in the blank and read the sentence for me? Ooh, so make sure your things are ready. Let's hear Rhonda. Rhonda, prepare your voice. So can you fill in the blank and read the sentence for me? Can you test your mic, see if you're live?
Me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. Can you play at home after school?
At home, good. So that is one answer. So how about using my? So we learned using the word my.
Can you play at my house after school?
Very good. Play at my house. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you very much. Okay. So play at my house. So you can have the students study that way, and depending on the size, listen and repeat. So can you play at my house after school? Very good. So home would have been okay. Can you play at home after school? Do it this way. Okay. Then we have here, and then the answer that we practiced. I'm sorry, I can't. I have a what? I have a what? This one just in chat. Piano lesson. Good. I'm sorry, I can't. I have a piano lesson. Okay? Like this. Okay. So now let's do a quick activity. Okay, we'll do an activity here. So the title of our unit is At Home. At Home. So I have a picture of a room in a house. Okay. So I'm going to give you 1 minute. So you can do different variations of this activity. So for 1 minute, you can write in the chat or write down some things that you see in the picture. Okay? Just anything that you know in English that you see in the picture. Okay? Ready? 1 minute. We'll start now. This little orange bar on the side is my timer. Okay? We see a monkey. We see pigeons, Legos, tree, toys, sofa. What kind of toys do you see? Table, many books, a globe. Good. Teddy bears. Ooh. My chat is going a bit slow. Board games. Good. Oh gosh, my timer's going. And good, 45 seconds. Got a little bit extra time because of when I clicked out of my presentation, gave you some extra time. Shelf, Legos, plant. Saw a bonsai tree earlier, it's good. Do you recognize any of the characters? So we have 30 seconds. Any characters in there that you see? So do you know, anyone know who this is over here, sitting on the chair? 15 seconds. Sam. It's Dr. Seuss. Good. Cat in the Hat. See Snoopy. Where's Snoopy? Okay, and time is up. So stop. Okay, so you can do that as an activity, and that's one variation. You can have the students write it down, and then after the time limit, have them share. Okay. There's one other resource that I've been using. So I want to get you guys here. Oh, I have it here. So I used this in a previous webinar. So I'm going to link something into the chat right now. Okay. So only the first 25. The first 25 can give answers. Okay. So once you get into that, you're going to come to a page that looks like this. Okay. So once I activate this, once I can reach it, move this out of the way, I'm going to activate this. You can write in something that you saw in the picture. So if you remember, if you wrote something down, or you can scroll back into the chat. So I'll paste this one more time in the chat. Go here and type in an answer that you see. Hopefully some of you are on computer. So if I can get some answers in, make sure it's activated. So here, carpet, okay? So you can use this website here. Up to 25 answers will come in. So we have one person wrote in carpet. We have Peppa, We have pig. So we have all these words coming in, making a word cloud. Yeah, if you couldn't send it, it's probably because we reached the limit already for this website. For the basic version, only up to 25 are available. So this is just kind of something you can do. Yeah, so there's 270, so it was kind of who are the quickest 25 to get in. So Curious George, okay? So this is a word cloud that you can use for your students. So instead of having them speak out or whatnot, you can do this as like a project, okay? So what did you see in the image? All right, so we see a lot of things. All right, so I have prepared another one. So now let's go to the next one here. So now I'm giving you the word home. Giving you the word home. What do you think about? What is a word that you think about when you hear the word home? When you think about home, what are some things? Family, plants, curious, table, some things at home, pets, family, warmth. So I'm going to go through these a little bit quickly so we can get through more. And then I had one more, just kind of for fun, favorite snack. Love, oh, favorite snack I love. Chips, ice cream, pizza, tuna melt. You can kind of go through pizza. Okay, so this is kind of one way you can do a warm-up activity with the students. Okay? We'll be coming back to this website soon, and I'll let you know what website this is at the end as well. Okay, so thank you guys for participating in that. And then, so that was kind of our warm-up. Now we want to go into the input. So we're going to go into new vocabulary. So I'm going to kind of go a little bit quickly through this. So you present the vocabulary to the students here. So there's different ways you can do it depending on how you're comfortable. So here's the image from the book. So you can have them look in their book or through the ebook, anyways. You can have them kind of guess. Okay. So what do you think this first one is? What is she doing? What do you think this is? And then you can kind of go student by student and kind of guess through the images from the book. So this is kind of, I'm kind of going quickly through this one. But then also how I used to introduce vocabulary to my students as well was always through a little bit more visuals that I had to prepare. So I gave you the answers already. So this one here, what is this? What is he doing? What does he do? He's do homework. Okay, so the first vocabulary here, do homework. Okay. And then this one here, what do you think this is? Eat dinner, having dinner. Very good. How about this one? Reading a book. Read a book, reading a comic, reading a comic book. And we've had some questions before as well, whether we can use their native language. Depending on the level of the students, how young they are, it would be okay to let them know the word in their language. So read a book. Check your yepta. Okay, so in Korean, okay, reading a book. And how about this one? What's he having? Having a snack. Very good. Have a snack. Kanchik, snack. And then what is he doing here? Going a little bit behind it. Watch TV. Very good. Eating popcorn. So here, watch TV. See if I can do this in Spanish. Mirar la tele. Mirar. Is that right? Close? watching TV. And laughing, he's laughing at the same time. And then last one here. What is he doing? Ver la tele. I think there was two. Yeah. I knew there was another word. Go to bed. Very good. Go to bed. Go to sleep. And then, so that's going over the vocabulary. Sometimes I had the students have a worksheet that they write down English word and the Korean or the native words. And then going over the key language. So have them practice. This is the sentence that we're going to practice this lesson. So what do they or what does he do in the afternoon? He has a snack, they have a snack. Okay, so this is kind of also highlighting what grammar points are going to be shown as well. Okay, so let's practice. So now we're going to go into our ebook. So again, we can show the vocabulary, and then we have the audio that you can listen and repeat. Let me make sure that you can hear it. Okay, so you can
A. Listen and repeat.
you can go through
Then
this with
point
the
and
students.
say, in the afternoon. 1. Do homework.
And then you can stop, pause it, also gives time, do homework. Okay. So then you also have your flashcards. So you can have the students you can do the same thing that I did with the PowerPoint. And have them guess the word.
Read a book.
And then you can have them listen and repeat there. And then we can do a quick activity. So practicing the vocabulary. So I'm going to lower everyone's hands here. So if I can get some volunteers. So this is a matching game. So you need to match the picture with the word. Picture with the word. So can I get some volunteers to give me some numbers? So let's go with Veronica. Veronica. So can you give me 2 numbers that you can guess?
Can you repeat?
So can you give me some numbers? So 2 numbers.
Yeah, okay, so let's see, number 7.
Number 7, go to bed, and one more.
And maybe it is number 1.
Number 1. Oh, that one was reading.
Sorry.
So thank you. Let's give another one. Let's see if we can get the first match. Let's go, Yvonne. Yvonne, thank you.
So
I can hear you.
number 5
Number 5, eat dinner.
and maybe number 12.
Number 12.
Eat dinner.
Oh, first point to Yvonne. Very good. Thank you, Yvonne. Okay, let's get a few more people in. Yvonne, contact eFuture Jason. He will be able to help you with a yachting experience if you can make it to Korea. Okay, so that is your prize for today. All right, let's get CK. CK, let's get a few more volunteers in here. CK, hopefully you have a mic. CK, are you there?
Yes, I do.
very
I
good.
do have a mic.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's okay. 2 numbers, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Can I have number 4 and number 9, please?
Number 4 and number 9.
Yes.
Okay, number 4, do homework.
Do homework.
Oh, we have some very smart people. CK, thank you. Very
Thank you.
good. Very good, thank you. And let's get one more. Elsie. Elsie, you've been active in the chat. Elsie, let's get your choice. Let's see if you can keep the streak going. Just have to get your mic ready. As well, in this activity, you can see how many clicks the students have been doing. So get the one. Okay, Elsie, can you test it? Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. So get
All right. Can I have number 2?
Number 2, have a snack.
Yes, please. And number 8.
Number 8. Oh, that was watch TV. Thank you for trying.
Thank you.
Very good. Okay. So we can try to go through. Let's see if we can do this fast. Go to bed. So have a snack was here.
Have a snack.
Watch TV. Go to bed here.
Go to bed.
Read a book. Read a book was up here.
Read a book.
And
Watch TV.
TV. Good job, everyone. So took only 22 clicks. Okay. So this is kind of a built-in activity that we can practice here. And then we get the students to kind of practice a bit more. Okay, so now we've learned the vocabulary, now using it more in the sentence. So we can get the students to listen and repeat.
What does she do in the afternoon?
And then have the student say, what does she do in the afternoon? And then have them practice the sentence. Okay? And then as well, depending on how much time you have, you can go deeper with the grammar. Okay? So you can practice the grammar with them, kind of teach that if you would like. All right? And then, so now this was kind of our input stage a bit, input and a little bit of comprehension check. And now we go into the output time. So now whether with partners or in groups, have the students practice the dialogue. So we have some extra new sentences here. And keep in mind, these might be some sentences and questions that they've learned in previous units, okay? So this wouldn't be completely new for all of them, okay? So you can have pairs and have the students, one student ask the question, one student answer, all right? For time's sake, I'm going to kind of skip ahead with the lesson here. And then you can have them have the answer as well. So,
Do they read books after dinner?
So do they read books after dinner? Yes or no, everyone? Does it match the picture? No. And this is where you can use your annotate, so your drawing function. So you have here, that's the mouse and the draw. So here you can circle. Okay, you can circle the answer, yes or no. Here, if you're going question by question, yes or no, yes. And then this one's about you, so it could be yes or no. So you can do that. And then you can delete them all and check the answers. So we were close. We had a few no's and a yes, okay? So this is kind of their output time. Yeah, only work on PC, unfortunately. So if you're doing it on PC. What was I going to do? So then here you have some more kind of practice again, so more production. And if you wanted to replace it, I saw someone saying that they use the workbook to provide output time. You can also do, using the annotate, oops, hold on. Not that one, where are you? Here. You can still do worksheets, okay? You can still do some worksheets together. The students wouldn't be using the worksheet per se. They would be probably using their notebooks, okay? So just doing the first one here. So what is the answer for number 1? So here we have they eat, and he or she does what? What do they do? Eats. Very good, Jeffrey. So then you can type in the answer. You can fill in the blanks and go over the answers with them. Okay? So you can still do some worksheets in a different capacity. We just have to kind of adapt the lesson. So you can go through there with the answers there. Just have to make sure if you're finished, just do one activity at a time. So you have eats here. You can see as I scroll down the worksheet, eats still follows me. So after you finish one activity, be sure to just erase the whole thing. And then you can go in and do sentences as well. Okay. All right. And then, so we can go through here. Let's go to our presentation. So after they practice, after they provide the output, you can do various games to kind of wrap up the class. Or you can get them started with a project. So here, here's a project again. So let's do a poster for your dream day. Okay, for students, what would they what would you ideally want to do in your dream day? Okay, so I'm going to utilize that website one more time. Okay, website here. So I'll throw that link again in the chat for the poll. Okay, so I'll throw this in here. My computer is a bit slow. Oops. Okay, so access here again. Now it's going to be a survey. And we're going to look at a survey. Just have to make sure to activate it. Okay, so this is your dream day. So I can ask the students. So we already have some people coming in and answering it. Let's go full screen. Loading. Always the problem with internet sometimes, the loading. So maybe we'll just not. So the first question here was, what time do you wake up? This is your dream day. So you can give different options before 7 a.m., 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. And then what do you do in the morning? We have some people looking at the options. So what would you choose? And play games, sleep all morning. Okay. You can keep going through. Okay. So then you can ask them, what do they do in the afternoon? You can pick their choice. Okay. What do they do in the evening? So this is kind of getting them ready to think about their project. Okay, getting ready to think about their project. So having them go through their ideal day. Okay, and I kind of went through and tried to search where the students can kind of make their poster. Okay? Make their poster. So I think, yes, there's some surveys going. I'm not sure if my kind of froze. Yeah. But yeah, you can have the students do it this way. So we have some, there we go. Here comes the answers. Okay, there we go. I think something happened on my end. So we see a lot of people would cook breakfast in the morning. Actually, I was supposed to take that one out because I was going to ideally give food. Have them watch TV. Okay. A lot of 100% like out with friends, read a book, watch TV. And what time do you sleep? So far, 100% no sleep. Sleep is for the weak. You just continue on with the day. So then we go through the survey, and then there's a website that I found. So going back here, so you can continue the survey, but you can take those results, and there's a website called canva.com that I found, and you can have students create their posters like this. So kind of digital posters here. So they can create that, and it makes kind of, you can have it as a video, or this, I made it into a GIF for the three different things. So what do I do in the morning? I eat breakfast. So I eat pancakes. What do I do in the afternoon? I sleep by the beach. This was actually a photo I took in Guam. And then in the evening, I play with my dog. So you can have them do these kinds of activities, posters, examples. And there's a lot of resources. You just kind of have to dig through on how we can do the same kind of projects that we would do in a normal classroom, but then again, adapt it into the online setting, okay, an online setting. And if you look into it, and the website is actually quite easy to use. It just has a sidebar. It has stock images, so if the students don't want to search the internet for images to use. And then they have a lot of stickers, like all these stickers on here. They were all things that came with the website already. And it was free, most importantly. Some of the things were hidden behind a premium, but this right here was a free poster that I made, okay? Okay, so that is kind of the thing. So with the reflect on class for the final part of the lesson, so of course I kind of review with them, give them time to do the assignments and all that. Just some things that we think about in the review, the reflect on class. I just have this little notepad. So some things that I think about as well, just, when I finish this webinar today, that I'll think about going forward. I think about, how did my webinar go? So for teachers, how did my class go? What were some things? For me, maybe I spent a little too much time trying to figure out, getting everyone to speak and volunteer today. Time management, I'm running a little bit over, so thank you guys for your time right now. I'm going to be wrapping up right after this. And then the activity choices, participation, was everyone engaged? Then think about, what would I change? What would I change? Obviously, in my next webinars, I'll be more confident in using the microphone function for you guys. And then also, what can I improve on? What things can I improve on? So it's very good, especially for online classes, to reflect on things that we can do better, even just in normal classes. What can we keep on doing? Okay? All right. And now the most important parts, well, not really the most important parts, but the kind of parts that we need to look at going forward for all you guys. So here's our contact information for our partners. Some of the emails have changed, so please double check on this table. I've updated everything as far as today with all the contact emails. Okay, these will be the people that will get you your certificates, will get you our slides, and eventually, if you also follow us on social media, when this webinar is uploaded to YouTube, we will be updating it and letting everyone know when it is up. And usually our time frame for our videos is between, at least within a week, sometimes sooner, depending on how our magicians behind the scenes, how quickly they provide the video. But this is the people that you need to contact. These are our partners in your countries. For those of you in India and Nepal, contact us directly. At the bottom here, we have everyone else. So inquiry@eltkorea.com. So contact that. These, again, I'll leave it here for a little bit. This is our social media, okay? Our social media. So I showed you our eSmart class. For those of you that are using our books, contact your partners or us about the availability, as well as, this is a very, very big tool for online classes. I didn't show too much of the other functions on there. I just showed you the ebooks, but there's a lot more that is available on the eSmart class, all right? And then follow us on Facebook. I'm the one that kind of helps to run the Facebook page. So if you have any questions or concerns, please shoot. You can send us a message on Facebook. And all of our video content is on our YouTube channel as well. Some of my colleagues will be posting the links in the chat, so be sure to look at that. We will be uploading this webinar again, and you can go back and look at all of our previous webinars that we've been doing since basically the start of the pandemic, as well as some model lessons and activity ideas that we've created, right? And then we have our website as well. If you guys are curious about eFuture, about our books, be sure to look at that. And one important thing, okay, hopefully we still have 250 of you guys here. For those that are joining next week's webinar for Rob Waring, continuing with extensive reading, if you have any questions that you can think of that you want to ask Rob or that you would like him to answer, please let us know. Okay? Please let us know. We'll be sending out a, actually I should do that right now. We're sending out a survey. Let me get that link up, sorry. Survey link. So in the survey links, we have a spot for extra feedback and additional comments. If you have any questions, please, whoops, that's not the right one. Ooh, will this not let me copy? Ooh, having a little bit of malfunction here. So actually, for those that are attending today, you will be getting a follow-up email, which will have the survey link as well. That will be coming tomorrow. Oh, did someone have the link as well posted? Thank you if you did, one of my colleagues. So be sure to ask the questions there or send me an email. Okay? Send me the email with your question and we'll relay that to Rob. Right? The chat's going kind of slow for me, so I apologize if I'm getting behind. Oh, thank you, Yeti. Thank you. So you can put the question in the survey and then or email it to me here. And then please, he's going to set up some time to answer these questions for you guys. All right. So sorry, I've been scratching my nose this whole thing. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, that's going to be the big thing. And for next month, we do have two webinars next month, and it's going to have Rob's expert series as well as a writing webinar with our colleague Kevin. Right, so that's coming up. The registration links will be coming out soon, probably later this week. So be on the lookout on from either emails from our partner or follow us on Facebook. Okay. You can, for the slides, you can contact our partners for the slides, all right? And yes, so if there's any questions, I'll give the last few minutes here. Sorry, I kind of was running out of time and I kind of rushed through a lot of things that I wanted to elaborate more on. I will be doing another kind of sample model lesson in the future, which I hope, just based on here and my own reflection, kind of allow more time for extra stuff. So if there's any more questions, thank you guys so much. Thank you for all my volunteers. Thank you for the volunteers that did raise your hand, but I couldn't get to. So thank you very much. Yeah, thank you guys for joining today. I know it's late or your day is getting started for a lot of you. So I appreciate you guys, and just give yourselves a round of applause for listening to me for over an hour and trying to do your best to kind of learn more to become, a better teacher. I will put our partner information back up before you guys leave. So if you need to take a picture. So thank you guys so much for your time. I'll give one last minute. It's time for me to eat some lunch as well, and hope you guys are having either a snack or your lunch as well, for those of you in Japan on the same time zone. Really miss traveling. Hope this pandemic ends soon, and hopefully I can visit your guys' schools in the future. That'd be great. Can we get one more link to the survey? We have some people not getting the survey through. Yeti, if you can do that one more time for me. Por favor. Buenas noches. Trying to learn as many languages as possible. So I'm going to be trying to practice with you guys. In Algeria, 4 a.m. Hats off to you, Nabila. I am from California, but my family is Filipino. So for all the people in the Philippines in the chat, maraming salamat. Salamat po. But I am not fluent. I grew up in America, so don't go full on Tagalog with me. So thank you guys very much. Oh, it's time to eat. So take care, everyone. Hope your family and loved ones and students and fellow teachers are all safe. And I'll see you next time. And be sure to join Rob's webinar next month, next month and next week. All right? Thank you guys very much, and have a beautiful, wonderful day, evening, night, and sleep. Okay? See you guys next time.